Now we're looking directly at adding AI to our team and creating a super mind. And that concept came from Dr. Thomas Malone from MIT, where he discusses superminds. And what a supermind is, it's an entity, so now a group of individuals, a group of people, and computers, machines that create an intelligence that's greater than the sum of the parts. So in other words, the collective intelligence of the group is greater than the sum of all the individual parts. Now that's a real critical piece of information to have, because studies have shown that when people make decisions, so a group of all people, we're going to make a certain amount of errors. When machines make decisions, and it's only machines, they're going to make a certain amount of errors. They make a little bit less than the all people group, but there's one group that makes a significantly less amount of errors in the decision-making process, and that is when it's a hybrid of machines and people. So that's where the concept of superminds kind of came from. And superminds come in a lot of different forms, but for us, we're looking from a learning and development, a training, a teaching, instructional design perspective. So we're going to keep our focus kind of there, and we're going to look at a couple of examples that are going to be coming up in a minute. But first, why would we want to add AI to our team? Why would we want that? Why would we even want that headache? Well, first off, it can consume a lot of data. It can work through a lot of data much faster than we can, because remember, we have generalized intelligence where the AI has specified intelligence. So we're working through the AI is working through all of this massive amounts of content quicker. And when you add now, so that's reason number one. Reason number two, from my perspective, is now you have an extra brainstorming partner as well. So that helps in the entire process, because it will see things that we don't, just like we'll see things that it won't. It'll see things that we don't, and it can help us make decisions, help us come up with different strategies, different solutions for some really complex issues. So let's look at some really practical examples and the evaluation behind it, because remember, we're talking about evaluation this week. And really, one of the things that we're all kind of being touched by or probably engaged in is individualized learning experiences. Everyone wants their people within the corporation, within the organization, to have an individualized learning experience. Higher education wants people to be able to take pathways of individualized learning, and artificial intelligence can make that a reality, and it can make it a reality really quickly. We already have learning experience systems that do that to a point. They gather information, they put content together for individuals and create that individual learning path. So the rudimentary stuff of that is already there. Some might say is there much more than rudimentary, but as we see what AI can do, it's simply going to grow and become bigger, bigger, and bigger. Now, how do we evaluate if that was a success? Well, that goes back to, why does the organization want the individualized learning experience for the employees? Is it a retention thing? If it's retention, we have to have some of our purpose hooked to a retention metric, because that'll really shine through and say, okay, well, this expensive tool that we bought, this learning experience design tool that we bought, works. And this is how much it worked, because you see retention went employee attrition went way down after we started implementing this. And another thing, a larger organization may be looking at it just to have something so it's attractive to new employees. So then, are we being able to hire these newer employees at a quicker rate? What is happening in order for us to attract the right talent? And at a minimum, really just the implementation and the feedback from individuals who've partaken in these individualized learning experience, good, bad, their feedback from that is the minimum that we want to do. I would find an organizational goal and hang it on that, at least to a certain percentage, to a certain point. I would have multiple points that would help me kind of define, hey, we spent X amount of dollars and look what it's done. It's given me all of this. So if it's retention, if it's getting the right talent that we want, whatever it may be, hang your hat on that, so to speak, and then also have your other sub things like okay, this many students found it, acceptable in this way and that way, all the good stuff that happens. And then the other process or the other scenario that I like to think about, the second scenario that many of us have probably been a part of at one point or another, is the sales team and sales team training. So the organization wants to increase sales effectiveness. So because they want that increase in sales effectiveness and they're saying, hey, we need better training, then guess what? We need to hang our evaluation on that metric, on the metric of, once we deploy this training, are our sales going up? Where is it exactly? How does it fit within that metric? But what that can do is you can have an NLP that has individualized and different scenarios that people can go on, whatever the sales is or are. Sales are, right? That's better than is. Sales aren't it. Sales are. Sales is. Who knows? But anyway, back to the point. The NLP can actually create the scenarios and then give instant feedback to the individual. So it's going to go on a back and forth with the salesperson and then give feedback on how that person is doing or how they did with the process. So it's a very powerful tool that can happen. So that's how AI can kind of be a partner with you on your team, because you have to train the AI, you have to put in the proper parameters, all that sort of stuff. You probably be buying that sort of software external. So somewhere external already has something put into place, and then you personalize it for you. There's a whole lot that goes to it if you want to create your own, and you would need a data scientist to come in and somebody as an expert in artificial intelligence to come in and help with that. So there's multiple ways you can go about it, but I hope you could see that it's all about the evaluation piece is all about where this need for the tool came from first. So always remember to be that person that has a problem to solve. You find a tool that's going to help you solve it, and then you evaluate how well that tool solves the problem.